I never thought a single night could change everything, but that evening did. I had been busy with work all week, burying myself in reports and meetings, while she, my wife, had been unusually quiet. Our conversations were short, distant, clipped. I had sensed a shift, a subtle coldness in her tone, but I brushed it off as fatigue or stress. I never imagined it was the prelude to betrayal. It was a Friday evening when I finally decided to surprise her. She had told me she was going out with friends, something she hadn't done in months, and I thought, why not let her have a night off? I finished my work earlier than usual, hoping to see her for dinner afterward, maybe share a laugh and catch up. I parked outside the trendy rooftop bar she had mentioned earlier in passing, the one she said she was meeting some colleagues at. My curiosity and a gnawing sense of unease made me linger in the shadows, watching. Then I saw her. She was laughing, leaning into a man who was clearly not me. My chest tightened, a cold, sinking sensation. Her hand brushed his arm in a way that had once been reserved for me. Her eyes sparkled with amusement at something he said, and my stomach twisted. Every detail, the way she tilted her head, the laughter she couldn't suppress, was familiar yet unbearably alien. I felt like a stranger looking into my own life. I debated whether to confront her then and there or retreat and plan my next move. I stayed silent, observing. The man's hand brushed hers again, lingering, and she didn't pull away. That's when I knew. I knew she had been lying, hiding more than just small secrets. She had been crossing lines. And suddenly, the casual pretense of going out with friends dissolved into something much darker. The night air felt heavier as I stepped closer, my phone discreetly recording. I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but deep down, I already had. She laughed at a joke I hadn't heard, and then the man leaned in, his lips almost brushing hers. The world slowed for a second. My heart pounded so loud I could hear it in my ears. And then, instinctively, I spoke. My voice, calm but sharp, cut through the music and chatter. Jessica. Her head snapped up. Her smile froze. Her eyes widened in that exact moment when guilt and fear collide. She turned slowly, and for the first time that night, her laughter vanished. She looked at me, and in her eyes, I saw panic, shame, and something I had never expected, regret. The man beside her stiffened. He started, but I didn't wait. I walked toward them, each step deliberate, heavy with the weight of everything she had tried to hide. Jessica, I repeated, my voice lower this time, more dangerous in its quietness. What do you think you're doing? She opened her mouth to speak but nothing came out. Her face was pale, lips trembling. She had no excuses, no rehearsed lines. All those lies she had spun over months, pretending everything was fine, pretending she valued our marriage, they crumbled in her expression. It's not what it looks like, she finally stammered, but I shook my head. It's exactly what it looks like, I said. I've been patient, trusting you, believing in us. And this is how you repay that trust? The man tried to intervene, a half-hearted gesture of defense, but I didn't care. My focus was entirely on her, the woman I had loved, who had vowed loyalty, and who had shattered that vow with her actions. You think you can do this behind my back? I asked, my voice steady now, though rage simmered beneath the surface. You think I wouldn't find out? Her eyes darted between me and the man. She wanted to speak, to apologize, to explain, but the words were trapped in her throat. I reached into my pocket, pulling out my phone, the recording still running, capturing every word, every gesture, every sign of her betrayal. This, I said, holding up the phone, is everything. Every laugh, every touch, every lie. You can't pretend anymore. Not tonight. Not ever. Tears welled up in her eyes. I didn't mean for. Save it, I cut her off. I trusted you. I gave you everything. And you threw it away for a night, for him. And for what? A thrill? A meaningless laugh? The man stepped back, finally understanding that I was not going to let this slide. He muttered something, but I didn't hear him. All I could see was her guilt, her shame, the realization that her actions had finally caught up with her. I didn't yell. I didn't make a scene. I didn't need to. The silence after my words carried more weight than anything else I could have said. She collapsed into a chair, hands covering her face, and sobs escaped. The mask of confidence she had worn for months had vanished. She had no words to justify herself, no clever explanations. Just the raw, undeniable truth of her betrayal. I turned to leave, my steps echoing in the bar, and I felt a strange mixture of sorrow and relief. I had seen the truth. I had faced it head on. And though my heart ached, a part of me felt free. Free from the deception, the lies, the charade of love that had never truly been mutual. Before I reached the door, I glanced back. She was still there, weeping, and I realized that in that moment, I had become a witness to the collapse of everything she had tried to hide. My name had stopped her, but it hadn't saved her. It hadn't undone the choices she had made. She had turned to another man, yes, but in the end, she couldn't turn away from the consequences. Outside, the night was cold and clear. I took a deep breath and stepped into the street. I didn't look back. There was nothing left for me there. The betrayal was complete, and so was my decision. She had her moment of shame, and I had my clarity. Some doors, once closed, never open again, and some names, once spoken, can change everything. That night, I learned a truth I had suspected but never wanted to face: love, trust, and loyalty are fragile. And when they are broken, nothing, not apologies, not regrets, not tears, can ever fully mend them.